Hey, Team ISD, happy Friday. I hope everyone's had a great week. Certainly here in DC, it was quite interesting with our snowstorm that closed the offices on Wednesday, postponed our all staff meeting until Monday. But a couple of highlights from this week, no particular order. A number of us had some great opportunities to meet with partners from Build Change, who's been an implementing partner in a couple of our recovery countries, as well as meeting with senior leadership at Habitat for Humanity, where Leslie Schaefer and I were able to meet with a former ISD colleague who is now Senior Director for Habitat's international programming and domestic programming. And I also had an opportunity to meet with a great partner that was interested in doing some work with us around disaster risk reduction through Hope Worldwide. And the reason I mention this is I think there are just such rich opportunities in looking at how we are delivering our mission in partnership with other organizations in order to make the most impact on the communities we serve. In addition, of course, to working with the national societies in the country context which we serve. And certainly during recovery operations, we know that this is a critical element to ensuring the effective use of our donor funds in an efficient way. And just really excited about those conversations. Nothing concrete that came out of them, aside from really just recognizing the potential partnerships that exist within the enabling framework of our missions. Also, I wanted to provide a shout out to our Restoring Family Links colleagues here at headquarters, as well as to the RFL mentors that were in town. I was amazed and impressed that they showed up on Wednesday, despite the office being closed, to kick off their RFL mentors meeting. And while I was able to provide them welcoming remarks, I was part of an hour-long discussion today on Friday with representatives from across the U.S., both volunteers and paid staff within our chapter network, that were really looking at ways to deliver the Restoring Family Links program in a way that is meaningful and, of course, reaching the most individuals possible when they have a time of need and need that critical service in Restoring Family Links. So really impressed with the dialogue today on Friday, as well as what I heard from the outcomes of the meeting. And thanks again to the headquarters RFL team for pulling everything together to make that possible. Just a quick update that I'll provide more information on Monday when we have our all-staff meeting, but had a chance to meet for an hour with our ISD managers and above, and some great conversations around broader organizational-wide initiatives that touch on organizational culture and our 5 core values at the American Red Cross, and really what that means for our department as we continue to strive to be the best place to work, not only in the United States, but also across the globe. And I think this is just, again, part of our evolution and our ongoing conversations about enabling the compassion that's in our 5 core values, as well as a lot of the other elements that have come up through fireside chats and employee engagement and other elements. But I shared with the managers that my attendance of our division leadership meeting, where I am fortunately now at the table with our division vice presidents and our division fundraising vice presidents across our domestic network, was really impressive 2 weeks ago, where we spent a lot of time just talking about organizational culture and things that each and every one of us can do to enable commitment to the 5 core values at the American Red Cross. So more to come on that. Just wanted to provide you just a quick little insight. And you'll notice at the bottom of my email when I summarize this video, we're going to start including the open positions within ISD. There was a really good recommendation from a number of staff members as a way to call out career opportunities for individuals, that we could insert that into my weekly email. So you're going to see that at the bottom of the email shortly after I publish this. And then last but not least, my favorite part of this week's weekly message, we've made some huge progress and breakthroughs in a couple of weeks in highlighting the humanitarian needs as a result of the population movement in both Myanmar and Bangladesh. And really a milestone for the organization. We now have a designation for the Bangladesh population movement, to really try to mirror what we're trying to do in our priority countries, Bangladesh and Myanmar being 2 of our 10 priority countries. And a big key fundraising decision that was made this week and signed off on by our senior leadership team around Gail's table is to allow for our 300 plus fundraiser network in the U.S. to fundraise for the Bangladesh population movement. It is huge. We're going to target a $2 to $5 million budget, and starting next week, put some messages out to our global domestic fundraising network to see if we can't raise some support for what we're saying is a critical risk within Cox's Bazar and the risk exposure as the storm season approaches within the Bangladesh Myanmar geography. And with that, also for the first time ever, MACP has approved a one-time $800,000 gift that we just received word of, specifically to help with disaster risk reduction activities in Cox's Bazar. So that will amend our project agreement within Bangladesh. A huge shout out to Achala and his team for really providing the professional leadership and platform for MACP to really believe in providing us that additional $800,000 specifically for the population movement. So really some great news this week. I could not be more happy ending this Friday, and just want to say thank you to each and every one of you, volunteers, paid staff, all of the above, because it does take a full team effort at all levels, both headquarters and field, to really enable this One Red Cross vision that we've been on the journey for. So that's where I'll stop. We'll talk to everybody on Monday at the all staff, and wishing everybody a great weekend.